Hello there everyone, and welcome to the channel. On the channel, I make Legends-based Star Wars content. I like to explain different parts of the Star Wars universe so that you can have a better understanding of it. Today, I will be talking about the Sith Order and how it got started. I want to make a video on how the Jedi Order got started, but today I will be talking about the interesting history about how the Sith Order began. Now, a lot of this information comes from an awesome book I discovered called Jedi vs. Sith, The Essential Guide to the Force. This book has been extremely helpful. While there are several comics and novels that cover this time period, there's a lot of gaps that sort of get explained in one sentence and don't actually have a comic or book devoted to it. This book helped fill some of the gaps and help shine light on certain events that were relatively unknown. A while ago, I did a video talking about the Jedi Order, which was basically the precursor to the Jedi Order. They focused on balance in the Force by using both the light side and the dark side. Eventually, it turned into what we know as the Jedi Order in 25,000 BBY. This was also the same year that the Republic was founded. About 18,000 years after the formation of the Galactic Republic and the Jedi Order, an event that would be known as the 100-Year Darkness began. This would eventually lead to the formation of the Sith Order. Now, at this time in the galaxy, the Jedi, despite being Jedi who were supposed to serve the light side, were constantly divided between the light side and the dark side of the Force. This led to the 100-Year Darkness. The 100-Year Darkness started when a group of dark Jedi figured out how to use the Force to transform creatures into mutant-like warriors, mounds, and spirit-devouring leviathans. Pretty crazy stuff. The Dark Jedi and the Jedi would fight a war. This war lasted a little over 100 years, hence the name. Eventually, the Jedi nearly defeated the Dark Jedi and their mutant monster creatures. The Dark Jedi made their last stand on a planet called Korbos. Korbos was a mining planet in the Yavin system. After an intense battle, the surviving Dark Jedi were stripped of all their weapons and banished into an uncharted region, in the middle of nowhere, far beyond the boundaries established by the Republic. They were sent to a planet called Korriban. Now on Korriban, there was a somewhat primitive but Force-sensitive species there known as the Sith. Now you're probably thinking, don't those Dark Jedi turn into Sith? Yes, they do. But for those of you who don't know, there's an alien species called Sith. Now the Dark Jedi conquered the planet's indigenous species and proclaimed themselves the Lords of the Sith, which is where that name comes from, Lords of the Sith. Now, interestingly enough, Timothy Zahn, one of my favorite Star Wars novel authors, considered making a species called the Nagri Sith to sort of explain where the title Lord of the Sith came from, but Lucasfilm decided not to use that idea in case George Lucas wanted to do something with it. Now, I'm not 100% sure that this idea was copied from Timothy Zahn's idea, but it's very similar, so it makes sense that they did copy it. Now, the Sith Lords would be stuck on that planet for about 2,000 years. They discovered a way to get back to the Republic during the Hyperspace War. I plan on talking about the Hyperspace War eventually, but for now, this video is just talking about the creation of the Sith. So that's how the Sith Order started. Now, a lot of this story was probably inspired by an idea that George Lucas had. I've heard him talk about it in an interview. George talked about the idea of Jedi turning to the dark side without anyone knowing and then becoming Sith. It seems like his idea of the Sith coming from the Jedi Order was used. I like it when they let George help out with Star Wars. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this sort of thing, why not consider sticking around and checking out more stuff on my channel. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.